The story that is so close to us, it's hard for us to see because it's how we see. There are two primary stories that every person is living out every day. Your resting story is your lens that you see the world with. And then every person has an aspirational story, the story they are wanting to become.
So why do people struggle to tell their story?
They don't know what stories there are to tell. You can see how understanding the different stories that people tell themselves and how people live would let you connect with humans in such a deep and important way. You are the creator. First level is being creative or innovative in imitative ways. So copying someone else's art. I like to think of it like a Lego set. You're following the instructions.
And then the next day you add on to it or take something away and make it your own a little bit.
That's the next level. Giving form to your own vision. You're like, I want to make this more. I want to make it mine.
This is mind-blowing. Keep going.
The third level of the creator story is
Welcome back to the To Create is Human podcast. Dude, what a banger have I got prepared for you today. I've had multiple great storytellers on the podcast. I was able to read 100 and whatever amount of comments from people on LinkedIn giving me insight on what makes a great story. And those were so insightful. However, I've been wanting for a very, very long time to dive into the science of story, a little bit of the psychology of it. And today, that's what I'm bringing to you. Ben is going to dive into the 12 character archetypes in stories, and also how every single one of us is constantly living out 2 of these. My biggest takeaway from this episode is actually since recording it, I've been able to watch, some of my favorite movies and TV shows, and I am picking out, and also like when I'm with my friends and coworkers, family members, I'm literally picking out what archetype everybody in my life is. I'm like, oh, this person is the magician. This person is the everyman. This person is the hero. Whatever. It's honestly just really cool to do that. Being able to understand these things about other people in our lives just makes us a better human and a better friend. But then also on a professional level, if you can understand the stories that we all live in more fully, not only can you make them feel more understood than anyone else can, but you also better position yourself to be able to help them out. Oh, and just one more thing. This episode in particular, Ben is he's got a diagram that he's taking us through. He's got all of these different things that he's walking us through line by line, word for word. It is better off, I think, if you can watch. I have these diagrams on screen so you can follow along as he's going through it. If you can just listen to it on your commute to work, no big deal. But if you can, pull up YouTube or Spotify. You can watch it on either of those platforms. I think being able to follow along as he's going really helps you kind of just understand a little bit more everything that we go through today. So anyways, I'll shut up. Here you go.
Have you looked at this at all yet?
I took a very brief glance when you sent it over, but I have not. My thoughts immediately when I looked at this was like, holy cow, I can't wait to have somebody who knows what this is explain it to me. Because I'm like, what in the world? Yeah.
That's awesome.
So for someone who doesn't know you or what you do, tell me about yourself and what it is that you do.
So my name is Ben Anderson. I'm a marketer. Right now I'm freelance. I have a lot of fun just helping small business owners with their businesses because that is where I got started as a marketer. Was helping my parents with their website and with their local business and
just here in
getting
Logan?
their story right. They're actually down in Richfield. That's where I grew up.
Okay.
Yeah, they're down in Richfield, do screen printing, embroidery. And the thing is, I actually started as the worst marketer in my class, like officially. Uh-huh. We were in a competition, okay? A marketing competition in college. And the whole thing happens. I'm really confident. I go in. I'm like, yeah, I did a great job. The next day, the professor is talking to the whole class, and he's like, I am so proud of all of you. All of you did a great job, except for one group. I don't know what they were thinking. And he called me out as the worst marketer
Really?
in the whole competition. So what a place to start.
That is pretty great. Do you know, by any chance, totally just a shot in the dark here, but do you know Brendan, by the way, by chance?
Oh, I met him once. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, epic.
At the
So music producer,
at
right?
the university, right? Didn't he go to USU?
I don't know if he did or not. He probably did. He's a music producer and audio technician. Anyways, when he was in high school, was it his music director or somebody? That's right. He wrote some songs in high school and played them and whatever. And his music director told him he has no future in this because it sucked so bad. Or at least it was just not the music director's taste. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But that is funny. That is really
no.
funny. So what was the next step after that? Like, were you
So-
like, okay, do I do this anymore? Or
No, I was like, well, I'm just gonna not learn marketing from him.
there you go, dude. There you go. That's awesome.
And so I started working even harder on my parents' company's marketing. And it was not actually going well until I met a professional brand designer who helped brands tell their stories for a living. And after half an hour with him, my entire view on the company's story was changed, just like that. Just a few minutes with an expert changed my entire view on how I do marketing, how my parents' company should do marketing. It was incredible just sitting down with a true expert who knows what they're talking about.
Do you remember any of those things that kind of clicked for you at first? Any of the first things that expert told you or taught you or showed you?
The importance of a controlling idea and sticking with one story. So like with this podcast, the controlling idea of the entire season is
Helping people tell better stories.
helping people tell better stories. And you need to stick around that idea. And if you go off script, then people are like, what? What is the point of what he's saying right now?
Yeah.
So staying on script with the one idea and then telling one story around that idea. So the story you're telling right now is the story of a creator, right? Humans create.
Absolutely.
And that is actually one of the archetypes that we're going to get into here. But those were two of the ideas that the expert shared with me that really changed my view of how to tell a story in marketing.
That is really cool. So what were some of the things that you initially with your parents' company did that you're like, okay, that was not a good idea? I just love to hear, like for me, you know, there's stupid things that I did when I was, and you don't realize they're stupid until after somebody tells you.
Right.
But if you don't
Until
find
you
a
learn
mentor
more.
or find some sort of education or something to help you like understand what is, not that there's necessarily doctrine, but there's principles to follow and stuff. So anyways, what were some of those things that you did that you learned not to do?
So once upon a time, I came home to visit family, and my dad approaches me. He's like, "Hey Ben, you want to like make a website for me?" And I'm like, "Psh, yeah. I mean, it can't be that hard, right?" It's that hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's that hard. And so I made like a version 1 and I was like, why is this garbage? This is supposed to be easy. You know, I get on Shopify and they make it sound so simple. It's just like, oh, type in your
3
words
clicks
here.
and you're done. Yeah.
3 clicks and you're done. And you have a beautiful website. And I tried and it was not, it was not it. And so I went through version after version trying to make it better and better. And the expert came in right about version 6 of the website. And finally, at version 6 of the website, then I understood what in the world I was trying to say. And then I realized I needed to hire a web designer to make it look pretty, because that's not where I'm talented, is the making the website look pretty. And so most of my lessons have focused on the words that you use on a website and how it flows. And it's really easy to get the words wrong. I like to say that in marketing, if you know absolutely nothing, you're really good.
Really?
Yeah, it goes like this. It's a U shape. So if you know absolutely nothing, you're super good. And then you learn a little bit and you're really bad. And you have to learn and claw your way up to how good you were when you know absolutely nothing about
So why
marketing.
is it that you're really good when you know nothing? Explain that to me.
Because as humans, the instincts we have around business are usually spot on. Just someone starting a business cleaning garages, right? They're like, oh, I clean garages. And people will hear that and they're like, well, take my money. Come clean my garage. And then you learn a little bit about marketing, just enough to be really confident.
And it's all downhill from there.
And it's like, I help you become the greatest fashion diva in the world because your garage is spotless and I have this A-B organization
Using
technique.
buzzwords all over.
You're
all of a
using
sudden.
buzzwords.
Yeah.
You fall into buzzwords. You fall into these strategies that don't actually matter to the person you're talking to and
good
don't
point.
resonate with the story they tell themselves. So that is a little bit about how I think about marketing now. And
love
now that
that.
I've found this, discovered like brand archetypes and the different kinds of stories, then I've started to claw my way back up the other side of marketing. I can actually start to recognize good storytelling and good marketing now.
Take a venture with me here for a second. This might be the stupidest thought ever, but is it possible that one could have the journey of like a skateboard half pipe? You go up and all of a sudden you get too big for your britches, come back down again. Is that related at all to the you that you're explaining?
Yeah. So you're asking if someone gets really bad and then starts to get good again, if they can dip, if it's an up and down.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that, of course, people make mistakes all the time. What progression is not making the same mistake twice. So that is what defines the upward path on that other side of the U, is not making the same mistake twice. Because I heard a quote once, if all someone did in their job is not make the same mistake twice, they would rocket to the top of their industry in an incredibly short amount of time. And all you have to do is not make the same mistake twice. So that's something that I live by.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
So do you want to just dive straight into these archetypes then?
Yeah.
How do we go about this? I mean, how do you take me through this? Do you want to take it like all 12 at a quick, overarching glance and then dive into them more deeper? Do you want to just go individually? Like, what, you take me through this. I'm all yours.
Yeah. So a little bit about this. This is the 12 foundational archetypes of characters within stories.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll just read through them all real quick, just so we have an idea of all of the different kinds of stories. And then I think it would be interesting to talk about your progression through some of these stories that I've seen as I've listened to your podcast.
Let's do it.
Is that all right?
I'd love to do that. Yeah. Yeah.
So just a little overview. These come from the work of Joseph Campbell and Carl Jung. So Joseph Campbell is the guy who made the hero's journey.
Okay. Yeah. The template for most stories.
The template for most stories.
Yes.
And he also got into what characters are there in these templates. So most people know about the hero's journey and don't know anything about the archetypes that he also worked on.
Interesting. Okay.
So these 12 archetypes are the things that our brains as humans instantly recognize. The foundational stories that are all very different from one another. And I'm just going to read through all of them real quick. There's the outlaw. There's the magician. There's the hero. There's the lover, the jester, the everyman or guy next door, girl next door. There's the caregiver or parent. There's the ruler or king or queen. There's the creator or artist. There is the innocent or the child. There is the sage or the scientist. And lastly is the explorer. And all of these stories are things that we both play out at different parts of our lives and even at different parts of our day. And they all want different things. They're all afraid of different things.
Interesting. Okay.
They all have different ways of living. So like the process to get to what they want, they all have different processes. And one thing is that when I was first working on my parents' website, that business, I thought they were the hero. They were the
We all do, yeah.
strength overcoming. They were the Nike. They were the let's go win all of the things until I realized that's not their story. Their story is the caregiver. Down here, they care for their customers like a parent cares for a child, making sure they have everything they need.
That's beautiful.
That's a beautiful way of thinking about it. And it's the way most local businesses operate is on that caregiver story.
I recently heard this guy, he talked to the owner of a $500 million company and then this owner of this little, was it a coffee shop or a tattoo artist? Anyways, and the $500 million...
I think nail salon.
Nail salon,
Yeah.
that's what it was. And the $500 million company, CEO, owner, whatever, he was just bragging up his employees and his customers for making the brand what it is. And that's great and everything, but there's not much story there. At least maybe, unless you were to really explore it and dive into some of the deeper progressions and everything in that. But the nail salon artist had said, these people have a safe place here. I'm able to offer a safe place to people. Yeah. And that feels like, that makes me feel like I'm giving something back to the world. And he's like, the story between these two is so vastly different. Or sorry, maybe the $500 million company has this beautiful story, but in their marketing, they may not be sharing it.
Right. Yeah.
Anyways, just a little anecdote there. Sorry, keep going.
So put that in terms of the caregiver story, right? The nail salon woman was acting as the caregiver or parent kind of story to everyone who came in. Right? So she was providing a home like a parent would for their children, but for all of her customers.
Right. Okay.
And so when we use this kind of map of the different stories, then I'm a marketer. And so if I went into that nail salon and tried to sell her like a outlaw, it's like, you are a rebel, like your brand is rebellious and it doesn't follow the rules, then she'd be like, what in the world are you talking about? You don't understand me at all.
Okay.
But if I went in with the caregiver story, it's like, look, I see what you're doing. You are giving every customer their little home away from home where they can feel safe.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Then it immediately resonates because I am telling her story that she tells herself.
And she's able to hear that
And
through
she's
you.
able to hear it.
Hear that through you. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Let's talk about you, shall we?
Sure.
When we're talking about the stories that people tell themselves, then there are two primary stories that we need to focus on. There is the resting state story, the one that you just automatically live. It's part of who you are. It's the way you see. And so it's kind of hard to see your lens that you're using. So your resting story is your lens that you see the world with. And then every person has an aspirational story. The story they are wanting to become.
Okay.
Is that a confusing idea?
No. That makes total sense.
So there's the two primary, and then we also get into all of the other ones from time to time, but there are two primary stories that every person is living out every day. So
Would it be far-fetched to say past versus future? Or no? The stuff that has made them who they are today is the lens, and the stuff they want to be, the aspirational part of the story, is the future, or is that totally different concept?
I think it's more of the present seeing both the future and the past.
Okay.
So the future, you have your aspirational. And the past, I haven't ever thought about this really. That's a really cool idea. That's a really cool idea of the different stories tied to the future versus the present versus the past. And I think I've only thought about the future and the present, but not the past very much. So the present is how we see the story that we live out as our resting state, and the future is our aspiration, who we're trying to become. But I don't know, what are your thoughts about how the story of our past affects us?
Absolutely. I think it's everything. Do you know who John Deloney is by chance? Dr. John Deloney?
No, I don't.
So he has worked with Dave Ramsey on his show. He's done several podcasts for him, and he's this guy. He's not a psychologist, but he's dealt with like people who are in trauma situations all the time. He worked as a trauma counselor or something on a college campus for like 20 years. Now he has his own show where people call in about like literally anything that's going on in their lives that they don't know how to handle, and he helps them make the next right move. Anyways, he is constantly saying like who you were as a kid. I'm trying to think of the way he words it, but he says like everything that happened to you and that you did as a kid, more happened to you, because you can't really choose a lot of things that, as far as living circumstances when you're a child, but like everything that happens to you when you're a kid like affects you for the rest of your life and stuff. And he also says like you marry your unfinished business and stuff like that. So remind me the question you asked one more time. Was it something about how the stories of the past affect our future and present?
Yeah, how do the stories of the past affect our present and our future?
I'm trying to think of the best way to answer how. All I know is that they do. I'm really trying to figure out how to answer the how, though. How do they?
And I don't think that's a problem, because a lot of people have tried to answer that question. And that is people's entire professions, is trying to answer how the past affects our future and our present.
I think it has something to do with our defense mechanisms. John also says that when your body or when your mind is using all of these other vices and addictions, it doesn't mean that you're broken. It actually means that your body is doing what it's meant to do. It's trying to protect you from something that happened in your past that you're trying to run from. So I think in an extreme way, but I think we all have those stories a little bit in us of, I don't know, I think in an extreme way, that is one way that the past can affect us. The stories of our past and the stories we tell ourselves about the past can affect our present.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Huge way.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we don't even realize how much those stories and events of the past are influencing us.
My goodness. Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's become part of our lens that we see the world with.
Yes. Yes.
I'm loving this conversation.
Dude, me too. See, the reason I have this podcast is because I'm able to do stuff like this.
Right.
And I have just a sit down, like structured place to do it instead of just a phone call. Nothing wrong with a phone call, but love doing this with people like you. So where were we?
Okay. So let's get into the one and only Jacob Christensen.
Oh boy.
And here
we go.
The story of his podcast.
Okay.
So right now, you are the creator and you're telling the story of the creator. Humans create.
Yeah.
And that's over here in this creator's story. First level, right? Most surface level is being creative or innovative in imitative ways. So copying someone else's art.
Absolutely.
I like to think of it like a Lego set, right? You're following the instructions.
Yeah.
And then you end up with this awesome Lego set and it looks so cool.
And then the next day you add on to it or take something away and make it your own a little bit.
Yeah. So
At least that's what I did.
that's the next level, is giving form to your own vision.
Oh, I'm seeing this now. So, okay, it's like my brain is getting exploded. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. So you have the Lego set and you make it and it's exactly according to the instructions and it's beautiful. And then the next day you're like, I want to make this more. I want to make it mine. So you turn it from someone else's vision of what the Lego set should be into your own vision of what the Lego set should be. Are we ready to go to the third level?
Yes. This is mind-blowing. Keep going.
The third level of the creator story is creating structures that influence culture and society. It's creating new Legos, creating new systems.
And influencing others to do the
And
same.
influencing the way the world works.
So in a way that kind of like cycles on to the next person. By the time you're at step 3, other people are imitating you.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Is that?
Oh,
is
yeah.
that-
By the time you're at level 2, people are imitating you.
That's true. So you're saying 3 is just the next level of that. Yeah, exactly like you
Yeah.
just said. Like you're influencing the way the world works.
You're influencing the way the world works, which is the deepest vision and aspiration of the story of a creator.
Yeah. Yeah. We all feel like as creators, well, I don't know if you're a creator or which one you fall under, but a lot of the people that I talk to identify as creators as well. And I know that we all feel like we're meant for something bigger. We all feel like that there's something bigger than what we are, that we're meant to be a part of. We're meant to help build something, you know? Mm-hmm. Amazing. That's cool.
So you have this aspirational story in your future
Yeah.
that is the creator, or that's another story, but that is calling to you and saying, hey, the future is beautiful. There's a beautiful future. And I need you to create the beautiful future. What are you thinking? What's on your mind?
Just having that feeling makes me feel like I can tackle any personal problem, any issue that I've ever dealt or that I will deal with. Like keeping that vision in mind, kind of like that's exactly what I'm thinking about right now. Is just like it makes me feel unstoppable a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
And that, if you want to make people feel unstoppable, if anyone watching wants to make people feel unstoppable, learn their story. Learn the story that they're telling themselves. And then help them see the power of that story.
So which one do you fall under
Of
these 12?
So I am the one and only Ben Anderson. I'm fairly unique, which I've come to realize in my life. I don't think like most people. And the reason I know that is because when I say what I'm thinking, other people are shocked. So clearly they weren't thinking the same thing.
Do you have any examples?
So, well, I'll just go into my stories.
Go ahead.
So I have a lens of a sage. That's how I see the world. So I'll just read through here. The sage first level is the search for absolute truth, the desire for objectivity, and looking to experts.
Explain the word objectivity to me.
So objectivity is the flip side of subjectivity. Objectivity is seeing things without bias, without emotion.
A holistic approach.
Hard science kind of view.
Oh, okay.
Subjectivity is like a liberal arts, soft sciences kind of view, which is, I see this in my own way. I see my perspective, my emotions are all of the soft sciences, right?
Okay.
And then the hard science is like, this is physics. This is chemistry.
Undeniable.
This is undeniable, objective things.
Okay.
That's the first level of the sage, which is why it's sometimes also called the scientist story, which led me to find things like this.
That's really funny. Yeah, that would lead you to like, let's explain.
Let's explain the story.
Yes, that is
You
amazing.
think your soft sciences are so soft? I can put them in a chart.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
So, second level is skepticism, critical and innovative thinking, and becoming an expert yourself. So, first stage is looking to experts. Second stage is becoming an expert yourself and finding the things about other experts that you actually disagree with, that aren't true in all situations. It's finding the nuance even in objectivity and becoming an expert.
Interesting. Okay.
And then third level, the deepest level, is mastery, confidence, wisdom, deep knowledge, reflective, insightful, guiding others. So it is the wisdom of the old man in the story. It is the Dumbledore. Every word he speaks
Yeah.
is this deep wisdom of a sage.
Yeah. So true. Yeah.
And which is exactly what a lot of stories need. It changed my life to go sit down with an expert for 30 minutes. It can change someone else's life to have you sit down with them for 30 minutes with your expertise and your wisdom. Which is the deep story of the sage. which is really attractive in its own way.
That's really cool.
That's really cool. And completely different than creating systems that change the world.
I'll say.
Yeah. So sage is the way I see the world.
Okay.
And I aspire to innocence.
Okay.
Which is, I realize is a little out of the ordinary. It's not a way you usually think people aspire to, but it's true. So the innocence surface is childlike simplicity, naive, dependent, obedient, trusting, idyllic. So looking for the ideal, becoming childlike again, going back to the good old days. It's also Coke's brand. Over here on Hero is the Nike brand. The Innocent is Coke brand.
Oh.
Sharing it with your family. Going back to the good old days of drinking Coke.
Okay. Yeah. Love that.
Second is renewal, reframing, reinventing, cleansing, returning to the promised land. So returning it to the promised land or back to Eden is a story that we see played out over and over and over again throughout history, because it is one of the core stories of humans.
Yeah.
It's something that survives.
The promised land, yeah.
A lot of times you see this in health brands. They say, get back to the way humans used to eat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
To the good old days.
The good old days. Before processed foods.
Before processed foods.
Okay, yeah.
And that story sells.
Does it
really well, because humans can immediately catch on to it. Oh, this is what they're talking about. Third level, integrity-driven, mystical oneness, being overdoing, values define purity, which is a super mystical kind of story to tell. Mm-hmm. It's the innocence that comes after the fall is the deepest level of the innocent story. So you are a child, and then you see the evil of the world, and then you overcome the evil of the world inside yourself to become innocent again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we going too deep here?
No. This is great. This is awesome.
So you can see how understanding the different stories that people tell themselves and how people live would let you connect with humans in such a deep and important way.
Yeah, and not transactional way.
And not transactional.
I can see why you aspire to innocence. That's really cool.
What's going through your head right now? Your brain is buzzing.
It is.
I can see it.
I'm just thinking nothing too, world changing this time. I'm just thinking about the 3 layers you just laid out for me here of the innocent archetype, of just exactly what you just told me. Being innocent, experiencing the evil of the world, overcoming the evil of the world to be pure again. That's like, are you a member of the LDS Church?
Yeah.
That's like the whole thing.
The whole thing.
That is really cool. And see what I'm thinking. And throughout this 30 minutes already, you've been able to see that I always try to relate something back to like an analogy or another related subject. Is it far-fetched to say that the church's story is innocence, and that's what they are selling? More or less, not for money, but they're trying to get people to overcome the evil of the world. Is it safe to say that innocence is the story the church lives in generally?
Innocence is the story the church lives in at its best.
Okay.
And it's the story it invites everyone into.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
People can go for that. For the entire history of humankind, people can go for that. It's an important story.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm gathering so far is these 3 or 4 that you've shared with me already, these are timeless.
Timeless.
They're repeating themselves.
Fundamental.
Every day, every month, every year, every decade, every century, whatever. I mean, yeah, these things are just timeless through history. Yeah. Wow.
So this is what my search for objective truth has turned up. Me over here as the scientist of stories.
Dude, I love it. I really love it. That is awesome.
Okay. In listening to your podcast, I noticed that you weren't always living the creator story.
Really? Okay.
You were trying to play the hero. The hero is about success and failure.
Correct.
The hero first level, boundaries, competence, mastery, achievement, motivated by competition. Nike, sports.
Huge into sports.
Competition.
You can't tell. Yeah. Yeah.
The corporate ladder kind of clawing, I'm going to win, and someone else is going to lose. I just saw the thought go through your head. What was it?
Just, you're like reading me like a book, dude. It's so funny. The thought that was going through my head right before you said that was like, yes, we can't have any of this like everybody gets a participation trophy thing. Like somebody's a clear winner, somebody is a clear loser, and that's the way that the world should be. Like that's one of my core beliefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is funny. That is really funny. That you like totally read me. Yep.
Okay. So,
well, and I'll just say real quick.
okay.
I would rather be the loser than be given a participation trophy for participating.
Oh, interesting.
Because I would rather justice and mercy than abandoning those laws. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Obviously, the ultimate goal is to win. Obviously.
Yeah.
But I'd rather lose than be given something. Be given equal for just, you guys all showed up at the game today.
So this level of this story is part of how you see.
Yes, it is. I did not realize that until 2 seconds ago. That's awesome. That is really cool.
You asked me a question before the show. Mm-hmm. Why is it hard for people to tell their story? It's because they don't know the stories.
They don't know their story.
They don't know what stories there are to tell. They don't know that I would rather lose than be given a participation story is one of the fundamental ideas of the human soul.
Absolutely. So take me through the hero. Take me through the rest of the hero.
So, level 2 of the hero. A soldier, a warrior, doing your duty for country, organization, community, or family. Protecting. Fighting. Third, using your strength and courage to make a difference.
Okay.
Just the other day, I was helping a mental health and like suicide prevention speaker dial in his brand. That is a very heavy and important topic that is all about strength and courage from the depths of your soul, because there's no other way that you're getting out of your hole. You have to have courage inside of you.
Yeah.
So, which every time we get to the third level, it always gets really deep and like and serious. It happens when you go this deep into a story.
But that's the beauty of story, is that it allows you to do that without feeling, I don't know, cheesy or salesy. But when you do get that deep, how could it feel cheesy? You're being that raw and authentic with somebody. There's no way you could feel like you're being preyed on at that point.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try to bring it up out of the serious for just a second. Go back to the one and only Jacob Christensen.
Oh boy.
You have been going along this axis of creator and hero in your podcast. You started out success is a myth.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Telling a different version of hero. And now you're swinging to the opposite side of the circle, to the creator for this season, because you realized that telling the hero story was kind of exhausting. Like you ran out of energy to do that.
And I felt like it was also, may have just been my feeling and not any truth. But when I had branded this podcast as Success is a Myth, I don't know, just listening to other podcasts that also had the word success or the word failure in them just felt like cheap and disingenuous, and didn't love the way that felt. And if you have listened to when did I talk about it? Anyways, one of the first episodes of this next season of To Create is Human, I talk about that very thing, about how I identify with To Create is Human more than the Success is a Myth story, because obviously everybody is chasing after their success. And so by me having a podcast about that, it just felt to me, maybe others didn't feel this way, but me listening back to myself and the way that I was portraying it felt as if I was saying, listen to me and I will make you successful. And that's like the opposite of what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? I want to help people feel like they can create more than I want to be like, I'll make you successful. I'll fix your problems. You know, I don't want to be that. I just want to be another dude that's trying to make the world a better place. So To Create is Human is I vibe with a lot more.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can use a lot more authentically and genuinely to accomplish that goal.
Finally found your story.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
After one season, which is really fast. Some people, it takes a long time to find their story.
Well, and it's something I'm always finding. It's not like I have found it and I'm there by any means.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing where this podcast goes and how big it gets and how much you have fun creating and talking with all of these people and exploring all these ideas. I'm really looking forward to that.
Thank you.
One more idea with this idea of swinging between stories.
Okay.
When someone is living a principal story in their lives, then, it's helpful to think of it as a pie, right? So in this pie, all of the slices are the same. All of the stories are just as big as each other. In real life, that's not how it works. We have one story that is a big part of our lives and that actually squishes other stories so that they are less frequent but more intense. Because the more a story is squished, in psychology, it's like suppressed, then the more powerful it is to eventually break free in a moment of intensity. And this also works in super macro levels, like a pendulum. People talk about the pendulum all the time. This is the pendulum of stories. When we go super individualistic as a society, it's all about the individual. It's all about you, what you want, what you need. Stop sacrificing yourself for other people. And that is the large story of the world that compresses the other stories, like the parent sacrificing yourself for others, right? The story of the parents sacrificing themselves for their children. It decreases the story of the lover, of finding a great romance, these two flames that come together, and it's about the two of them. Because it can't be about two of you if it's only about one of you.
Say that back. Say that last line. Say it again. I need to hear it again.
It can't be about the two of you if it's only about one of you.
Okay.
And so what happens? The story of the individual gets so big that the other stories get really intense. And they start to push back and come out in first small groups. And then it expands because everybody is like, oh, it's been too long. It's been too long since we've lived this way. And so that's where the pendulum swings. Is the living one story compresses another and gives it power, which then lets it expand and burst to take more of the macro story and make it more powerful and make it more widespread, I should say.
So can you give me an example of that?
Yeah. Well, let's see what, so I've been trying to do one with like, okay, let's do one. Executive in a company. Should we go micro story or macro story?
Which would you like?
All right, let's start with the micro.
Okay.
Let's start with the little one. So executive in a company. They're hustlers. They are working all day, every day. They don't stop. Things have got to get done. Right? They are in control. They make the decisions. They make it work. That's the ruler over here on the bottom left.
Okay.
So if that's a big part of their lives, then every once in a while, then the creator in them, the artist in them, comes out in flashes of intensity. The executive of the company says, I have been going hard for too long. I need to take a second and make an unforgettable experience. I need to make some art. I need to make the world beautiful. And they do it really intensely. Like that is all that they're doing for this short amount of time. And then they do it and they make a beautiful experience. And then they go back to their larger story of being a ruler, a king, an in charge, an executive.
Okay, interesting. Very interesting.
Was that a good example?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if that is one of your listeners, then they will say, "Oh,
This guy understands
this guy
me.
understands me."
That's epic.
That's not my story. I don't think that's your story. But it is someone's story that
is
they
somebody's.
live out. Weekly, daily, monthly, however it is. That they take a break from the big story to do this really intense small story.
You see it in movies all the time where there's the one large problem to be solved. But along the way, there are micro problems that, for one, keep the audience engaged. But for two, it gives the hero, and maybe there's a better word so that we're not just stealing an archetype here for that, but it gives the main character, protagonist, more than just the one large problem. It gives them more depth to their character to have these micro problems come up. And sometimes, without solving these micro problems, they cannot conquer the large problem. I'm trying to think of a really good example, and I can't.
I have one. Harry Potter. So Harry Potter is the hero, right? He is the classic hero's journey, hero all the way. He's
he
going to
is.
overcome with his strength. He's going to overcome Voldemort.
Yep.
Okay.
Him and Voldemort. Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
yep,
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So there is another character in Harry Potter that tells a different story. A ruler over here in Lucius Malfoy.
Oh yeah.
Okay, he is control. It's control. It's his way. If you come with me, I'll make you successful. You remember that scene where he's like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, first time we meet him.
First time you meet
If
him.
you hang out with me, then I will make you a king.
Yep. Yep. And that's arguably one of the most important choices that Harry made in the entirety of his story.
I just got shivers.
We were watching the first movie. Well, we were watching all the movies back about 2 or 3 months ago now. They're good Christmas movies, the Harry Potter series. And when Harry meets Lucius Malfoy, for one, and then his son Draco Malfoy, they both kind of extend the arm. They're like, we see that you can make us better, but how about you come hang out with us and we'll make you better? Like, they kind of a slimy. Anyways, and both times Harry just has something going on in his gut, and he's
gut.
like, I think I'll hang out with this red kid from a humble home instead. And like, I was telling my wife, I was like, I literally paused the movie and I was like, I'd never realized it before. I've seen this a million times, but I've never realized it before. But I think that choice right there, when I'm thinking of with Draco, when he's on the steps at Hogwarts and he's like, hey, here, Potter, I'll help you up, or come with me, whatever. I think that is the most important decision Harry made in all the series. It would be a totally different story had he made the other choice. And he still could have come back from it and it would have been but it would have been a totally different thing.
Totally different story.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So that one moment, that was a really intense and important moment in the story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. In all of movie 1 of Harry Potter, this is an example to demonstrate the intensity of the compressed story, of the smaller story. In all of the first movie of Harry Potter, which is like 2.5 hours, how much time does Draco spend on the screen?
How much time is Draco on the screen? Ooh. I think a fair amount,
Okay.
but not
Yeah.
the most time.
4 minutes.
Really? Only 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Very interesting. It just feels like a lot more because he's in my head a lot more, I guess.
Because the moment was so intense.
Yeah.
And he rounds out the entire plot. He's
does.
such an important character in the whole Harry Potter story, and he's on there for 4 minutes.
4 minutes in the first movie. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
And in none of the 8 movies does he spend more than 10 minutes
Per movie.
per movie on screen.
Really? So even during, which movie was it? Was it number 5 or 6, where a lot of the focus is on him and his choice to take the oath or whatever, or to kill Dumbledore or whatever it was? Even during that
Like
movie,
8 minutes.
8 minutes. No way.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Because the small story that contrasts with the, Harry Potter hero big story.
Yeah.
It just gets so intense. It has to be when it's so
Those are
small.
8 intense minutes and 4 intense minutes
Yeah.
per movie, whatever it
Yeah.
is. I cannot believe that. That's wild.
We've gone through a lot today.
We have. Is there anything else you'd like to go over?
Just that this understanding how people think and understanding the stories they tell themselves and the reason they do things it makes me really powerful as a marketer, but it makes us really powerful as friends and humans too. So I told you the story of I was the worst marketer in my, officially called out as the worst marketer, okay, in front of the whole class. Just in 2025, then I managed marketing for 2 of the top 100 fastest growing companies in Utah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
And see, that is your story a little bit.
And that's my story.
A lot of it. That is your story of I literally was called out as the worst. And now I'm literally helping 2 of the top 100 fastest growing companies in Utah do their thing, market.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Super cool. I have been so blessed in the opportunities that I've had and the things that I've been able to learn, the experts who have helped me, reached out a hand, said, hey, you're not the Dumbledore yet. Maybe you're a first year Harry Potter and you're making some mistakes, but we'll reach down a hand and help you up. And I've been so blessed with all of the people who have done that for me.
That is so cool. That is so cool. So, you mind if I ask you a quick question real quick? Let's just take Harry Potter, for example.
Okay.
His main archetype is the hero. He is the definition of the hero's journey. The definition of the hero's journey. He starts off at the lowest of lows. He's got this one enemy in the back of his mind throughout all 7 movies, finally able to... Anyways, we all know the story. What are his supporting roles? What are the roles that he aspires to be? Or what are the roles that he steps into to fill for a moment?
The hero is probably not how he would see himself because it's his lens, unless he's really self-aware. So It's hard to see the lens that you use. So we see him as the hero. And the question is, what would he see himself as? Down on the bottom, it says everyman / guy, girl next door.
That's how he would see himself.
That's how he would see himself.
I think he wants to be just another, just the everyman instead of the odd boy out. All of his childhood.
And if he didn't have a scar on his forehead, that's what he would be. So the first level, it says here, the orphan. Feeling abandoned and alone, seeking affiliation.
Legitimately him, word for word.
Word for word. So if you were going to go sell Harry a story, then you would see, wow, I see the hero in you. That's not what he sees in himself.
That is a very good point.
So you would tell him the story he sees in himself. The orphan. Seeking affiliation. Seeking friends who will stay by his side no matter what. Seeking a family in the Weasleys. In Sirius Black. That is what he's trying to do the entire time.
Yeah.
Second level. Should we go deep again?
Let's do it. Let's go right in.
Okay, second level. The joiner, learning to connect, fit in, accept help and friendship. The entire time, he joins Quidditch. He learns how to fit in with a team, how to play as a team.
He takes Cho, is that her name? Cho, whatever, on a date.
Takes Cho on a date. Learning to connect and fit in. Learning that people actually care about him.
Yeah.
Third. We ready? Third level, humanitarian, believing in the dignity of every person. That's a lot different than what Draco tells himself. So he goes through the entire movie and he sees the dignity in all of these people who are the outcasts, who are orphans in their own right.
Yeah.
That is who he aspires to be. That's who he is at his deepest level. He sees Ron, the redhead. He sees Hermione, the mudblood. He sees Luna, the Luna.
Yeah, I was saying Looney Luna. Yeah.
In the end, he sees Snape.
That's my favorite moment of the whole Harry Potter franchise. Is in the last movie when Harry realizes everything that Snape did was... Anyways, yeah. Yep. Not everything. Most things.
Most things.
He still despised Harry, but he did a lot of things to protect him. Yeah.
So if I was going to tell Harry's story from what Harry feels and thinks inside, he is the everyman. He is the average, is the story he tells himself. Believing that every person is dignified, that they have dignity, that they matter.
So would you say that the story that Draco tells himself is the hero story? Because he, mastery, achievement, motivated by competition, that may or may not be his story. Would you say that's the one he tells himself, though?
Yeah. Look, there's got to be winners and losers.
Oh yeah, 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 exactly.
Where
That
the
is
story
so
he
crazy.
can't see because it's his lens, it's the way he sees, is the ruler. He is exerting leadership, exerting control.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He is becoming a leader. He'll get to he will lead. And in this case, it's the villain kind of leader, right? Like a bad kind of leader. Because we aren't gonna say all leaders are bad. That's
Sure.
not it.
Absolutely not.
But the character, his lens, the story that was hard for him to see because he was so close to it, was the ruler. He was in line to be king. King of what? I don't know if he knew.
Yeah.
But he was going to be king.
He was gonna be king. Yeah, that's right. Huh. That is so cool. That is so cool.
Your mic is already standing, so I can't drop your mic, but
Yeah,
I'll
just-
drop my little paper.
That is so cool. That is so cool. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What does the word story mean to you? You've taken me through the different characters in a story and the archetypes, and you've helped me see which ones I am and what I aspire to be. And you've taken me through some other examples. But what does the word story mean to you?
Story means to understand. Story is how we see. And now you understand that statement a lot better now that we've talked about the story as a lens and the story that we aspire to, right? The story that is so close to us, we can't. It's hard for us to see. Because it's how we see. Story is to understand. Story is to see.
For me, I think my favorite part about stories is that you can, going right along in lines with what you've said, you can make somebody who you don't even know who they are, the reach of your story. And this goes right along with my ambition to influence the world. This goes right along with that. But I love that somebody that I don't even know, through listening to my story, can feel fundamentally understood by me. Because that's how I have felt when I've experienced great stories. Some of the greatest, and greatest is subjective, but some of my favorite stories, movies, songs, podcasts, books that have made me feel understood. I've never met them. They have no clue who I am, but I have felt understood. I have felt like somebody gets it, finally. So, love that. That is beautiful. Story is to understand. Love that. Do you feel the same way at all?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I watched Castaway for the first time 2 weeks ago with Tom Hanks. At the end, there's a scene where he's standing at a crossroads in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And on paper, he's dead. He has nothing except a car. And the only direction that he knows where something is back the way he came to a woman he just met. That was a mystical saver of his life. Right? Like an angel.
Yeah.
And it's literally, he can go anywhere. And yet he has nothing. And I broke down and cried. 'Cause that was me. I recently moved up here to Logan. That's where we're recording the episode. I moved up to Logan for a girl that I just got engaged to last week.
Hey, that's awesome. Congrats.
So I'm sure she'll listen to this too and cheer me on. Yeah, left the job that I was at before and came up here. And the one direction I had was to a beautiful woman that, even though we've been dating for a while, it can still sometimes feel like we just met. And I can go anywhere. Anywhere. And yet, I don't want to say nothing, but no, there's not anything holding me back from going anywhere. Which I think a lot of people feel when they leave a job, is that feeling of, I was going a direction and now I am drifting and I could go anywhere. And that scares me. And so your question was, times where I had felt deeply understood by a story. That was one.
Any final words? This has been one of my favorite episodes that I've ever recorded.
Well, no, I mean, just the feeling as we talk about these things has been so, I don't know, how do you describe? How have you felt while we've done this episode?
Surreal. It helps me like I'm seeing my own life at a 30,000 foot view and not the tunnel vision view of just get through the next day, get through the next day, get through the next week. And not even that. Because sometimes it's that. But sometimes it's just chasing after something. So how I felt during this is almost like relieved a little bit and just surreal of just, yeah, I don't know what better words than those two words. So yeah. Empowered, very, I just feel like unstoppable. Exactly what you were asking me earlier. Feel unstoppable right now. It's going to be really cheesy when I'm editing later, but right now, that's what I feel. How about you?
I feel deeply content. I crave moments like this, just sitting in this feeling, just being here. I feel rested and calm and fulfilled. Like if I didn't know that I was running on empty until I get filled up again. And you asked me if I had any last things I wanted to say. Jacob, go write your story. Go change the world. Go create and make the world beautiful. Go write your story, and I'll be here cheering you on.
Appreciate that, dude. Appreciate that. This has been beautiful. If anybody wanted to contact you, find you afterwards, or to also look at this, the 12 archetypes, where could they find you?
My main social media is LinkedIn. Just search Ben Anderson Famous.
I was going to say, Ben and Anderson are two of the most common names ever.
So I put that little differentiator in my little subheading.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
Legendary, dude. That's so good.
So
if you look at you're not pulling my leg at all.
Not
if
even
you look
joking. Ben Anderson Famous.
Oh, yes.
Then I'm the first one who pops up.
That's
it's
amazing.
me in a very well-lit picture. I'm wearing a blue polo. Connect with me, DM me, the word archetype. I'll send you the PDF.
That is awesome.
Free of charge. I want to give your audience this super useful resource at no charge to them, just because they're supporting you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And this is part of a book, correct? Or is it, what resource is this originally found in?
This is taken from a book called The Hero and the Outlaw.
Okay.
Which is a chonky book. It's like 300 pages. It's like 2.5 inches thick. It's published by McGraw-Hill. The textbook company. It's a beast to read. If you do want to read it, I would say skip the beginning and skip the end and just read the middle, where the archetypes are. There's like 12 chapters, one after the other, that just go in depth in the archetype. That's the only useful part of the book.
Interesting.
Which is a mistake I made, because I actually thought, I was like, oh yeah, the archetypes are like the climax. I need everything else to understand them. And so I read the first and I was like, well, that was useless. And then I read the end. And then I was like, that was useless. And then I read the middle and I was like, why did I do it this way? This is so dumb.
Well, thankfully we can all learn from your mistake there.
Yeah, don't make the same mistake twice.
I appreciate your time. This has been an eye-opener for me, and definitely something I'm going to refer back to often, as just to read the PDF, but especially listen to the episode to hear your insights on it as well. And you explain everything, and honestly help me discover a little bit of where I'm at right now. Like, that is really, really cool. So
Happy to.
appreciate you, dude.
It was a pleasure.